PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. I want to kind of break a little bit away from the product knowledge and talk a little bit about observations that I've seen over the last, give me a month and a half. Been doing a lot of in-dealership training. I got to go to Arizona and do some great training in a dealership. We did a session at the car, and the dealership put like 80 people at the car. You know, I had BDC, I had service, I had a tech, had the service director out there, I had the recon manager out there. In fact, you know, I didn't just have one tech, I had 4 techs. And everybody got together and talked about how do we sell cars together as a unit. I mean, everybody's involved. You look at pre-owned cars, in order to get a pre-owned car to the quality standards that a Toyota dealership will take the car to, it's got to go through the shop. It's got to be taken care of by a technician. And I tell everybody all the time, I know the customer's there to buy a car. And sometimes they buy a car whether I'm good or whether I'm bad. I mean, they're there to buy a car and I'm almost in the way. A lot of times I've got to use my talents to be able to show the value of the car, to be able to convince them that this is the right brand. You never really know what you're going to get when you're waiting on a customer to show up. One of the things that I've seen in the dealership over the last couple of weeks is I'm trying to do a session. I'm trying to add value to the car. And, you know, you've heard this your entire career, when value equals selling price, car deal. Nobody wants to leave and go to another dealership and go through another 3 to 4 hour saga just to get a price on a car. If they find the car they want and the value's there, then they take the car home. So I'm working really, really hard within the guidelines of adding value in a dollar amount back to the car. Some of you have seen me do this over the last couple of weeks. You know, we're talking anywhere from, high $3,000s to $6,000 worth of value just built into the program in the car based upon what's done at your dealership. During these times, maybe let's say I have 25 salespeople and I'm doing the presentation, 2 or 3 people can't take their eyes off the lot because they're so far behind in the month that they're just waiting on an up. So I'm trying to help them build value. One car deal could make their month if they could hold value in the car, but they can't pay attention to the training because they're too worried that somebody might show up. Realizing the dealership has split the floor and there are salespeople out there to take the floor traffic while we're doing the training. So if you fall within that category, that the only way you're making your living is waiting on somebody that's already been online, that's already seen the selling price, that's already been to 2 or 3 other dealerships, if you're waiting on that customer to come in, then even if you sell an ample amount of cars, 15 plus in a month, if there's no gross in the car deals and you get paid based upon commission, then you end up with a lot of work in a month with not a lot of resources or a lot of cash at the end of the month. So you've got to step aside somewhere in your career and decide, am I selling cars as a job? Or am I going to be in this as a career and try to move myself up the ladder, or at least up the ladder in volume sales? Once you've made that decision, then you know exactly which path you need to follow. If you don't plan on being in the car business in 6 months, don't take any time and effort to try to build a client base, because it's not worth the effort because you're not going to be there. But if you plan to be in this dealership 3, 4, 5 years down the road, remember, every single customer that you put into that service drive, that stays in that service drive and asks for a technician by name, is going to give you another chance to sell them another car, or at least somebody else in their family. So one car becomes 2 cars, becomes multiple car deals every time you sell a car. If you made somebody drive 50 to 60 to 70 miles away from where they live to come buy a car from you because of your aggressive pricing, because of your follow-up, because of your professionalism, why would you ever allow that customer to ever buy from anybody else? They've already shown you that they'll commit to you and commit to making a drive because they want to do business with you. So I guess the thing that I'm saying today is make a decision. If you're 26, 27, 28 years old, got a starter family going on, where are you going to be in 10 years? What are you going to do with your business? There's some things that you need to do, basics you need to do. First of all, you need to know the name and a little bit about every single technician that works in your shop. I find that when I started, we interacted with our techs every day. I knew every single tech. I went to dinner at their house. When we had an event, with a sales event, we invited the techs. I mean, we knew the techs. And when somebody came in and serviced their car, they would come up front, hey, say I was there, Bobby took care of me in the back and everything. Man, he did a great job. I think that every salesperson should have a photo of every single tech on your desk. Think about this. There's always some lag time. If I'm selling on a busy day like a Saturday, by the time the customer says yes to the time they actually get in to sign their paperwork, sometimes can be hours. How do you fill those hours up? Do you have these random stories? Are you that good a storyteller? You know, at that point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to inundate that customer with service, because I understand as a career sales professional, if I can get this customer to commit to service in any way or form, then I've got a greater chance that they're going to refer people to me, bring their family members in, and repeat a purchase from me. So a picture of every technician. I'm selling a used car. The used car has 125,000 miles on it. It's a Corolla. Obviously, 125,000 mile Corolla is better than the majority of Chevrolets brand new. I mean, I'm saying that. If somebody from Chevrolet is watching this, I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings. But I would rather have a 100,000 mile Toyota than a brand new Malibu. I'm sorry. I'm going to put the money in the car. I'm going to get my money back out of the car. The car is going to be more maintenance free. It's going to be a great car. But there was a technician in your shop that serviced that car before it went on your pre-owned lot. I'm not even talking about a certified car, because that's aged out and mild out of the certification. I'm talking about a car that was inspected by your shop and approved by your shop. We hold ourselves to a higher standard than the independent used car dealerships. We spend more money. You know, one of the things you ought to do with every used car customer is walk back in the back, take the VIN, and pull the RO that prepped the car for sale for either a certified or a used car. You walk up there and the RO is $1,387 and some change. That wasn't done at an independent used car dealership. That money was spent on the car. If the value of the car was already there, then I've added almost $1,400 in value back in the car that the customer would have had to spend on the car in the first year. Most of it's maintenance. A lot of it was recon and made the car look brand new again, which adds value to the car. Sell the value of your dealership interaction with the car. It doesn't matter that we spent $20 million on the store. It doesn't matter that we bought the greatest prime piece of property in the area. I mean, that's a given. That's what your dealer committed to when they built that brand new store. But what did we do internally in the store to bring this car to a level that you would represent this car to a long-term client? That's the story. Please try to tell me that somebody out there doesn't know about the value, quality, and resale value of a Toyota. I mean, we already know they have that base knowledge, but what about the car they're looking at and who they're buying it for and what their expectations for that car is? Learn all your technicians. We're in a tremendous used car year. And I'm sorry for Toyota, for Toyota North America, and we're going to hit our new car number, and I know everybody presses to do new cars. I got that. We're a new car company. But we can't control the buying demographic in America, and right now people are buying used cars. The value perception is in used and certified right now. But the problem I go to nationwide is we don't have the ability to grab the inventory and to work the inventory the way we would have it appear. I go online to try to buy the car from TFS, and a lot of dealers out there are sitting there going, these cars are above premium price, and I don't think there's enough profit margin in the car to pay that much money to be the high bidder on the online auction to be able to bring that 4Runner, Highlander, high-end Camry to the dealership. And a lot of dealers are passing on these cars. And that's a decision by your used car manager and the management of the dealership. So whether it is or isn't, that's the decision that's made. The biggest value is the cars that are being serviced in your service department. I'm selling a car that the customer bought 4 years ago from my dealership. Not only can I pull the original RO that showed what we did to the car to get it prepped to be able to sell as a pre-owned car, I can pull the entire service history on the car. How does that not add value to the car? If blue RAV4s are the hottest thing that you're selling in your dealership, then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk the bullpen every single day. For the cars after they're serviced, they're held in an area of the dealership. These cars have already been serviced. The RO's already been closed out. The customer's coming in tonight to pick the car up. And I'm going to put some kind of something on that car, if it's nothing more than a sticky note, on the side glass of the car saying, we would love to be able to buy your car. We're paying premium for cars at the auction. I would rather pay my clients a premium than pay for cars at the auction as a premium. If you're interested at all, here's my cell phone number. Just give me a call and we'll talk. And why would you not pursue the cars you know you can sell in a couple of days that are actually in your service department? Think about this. If your service riders, if you have 6 service riders, do the math. I won't let you guys do the math today. I can do it for you, but let me let you do the math. If they do 20 ROs a day and they work 6 days a week, 20 times 6? Right, 120. Okay? So 120 per ASM at 50 weeks in a year. And start thinking about exactly how many ROs or Toyotas that we've serviced in the year. How many of those cars are cars that we could sell within a couple of days if we had them on a pre-owned lot? If your used car manager is not going out there and physically talking to the customer in the service drive about a car that they would love to buy, and I've never understood that, why a used car manager would be sitting inside looking at a computer screen when they could be out there sourcing inventory every single day. If they're not willing to do that, then why wouldn't you be willing to do that? The funny thing about it is, and I'm not trying to make this up, if somebody decides to sell you their RAV4, they normally need to replace that car. So not only do you have a car you can sell on the pre-owned lot, you have a car deal right there. And now that customer's doing business with you, and you may bring up a lease. Hey, maybe it's $199, maybe it's $229 a month. It's a phenomenal deal. Toyota's incentivized something, and you can sit there and go, listen, I want you to look at this because this is an incentive program. It's from the company, not from us. And this gives you the car and a lot less money, and now you've created a customer that's coming back to you in 3 years. I guess what I'm trying to say in this beginning part of the series on you is sell yourself. Make your career grow based upon your efforts for your clients. The dealership's going to handle advertising. They're going to handle traffic coming to the store. You don't have to do anything for that. All you got to do is show up. So utilizing the traffic that the dealer puts there so you can make a living, step outside the box. The big deal right now and today is, are you going to be in this business half a decade or a decade from now? Because you want it to be easier every single year because you want the commitment of the customer. The 3 things to sell, I've been saying it my whole career. Sell yourself. If you think your 3-year-old Camry is better than any other 3-year-old Camry in the United States, promise travel with me. We'll go to 100 Toyota stores. We'll find the same car in the same condition done by a certified master Toyota technician. The car is a great car. There's not a lot of difference between that Camry and your Camry. The difference is you, the way you interact with the customer, the way you process, what you do for the customer prior to the customer coming into the dealership. Those are the most important things. Those are the things the customer buys. So number 1, sell yourself. After you've sold yourself and the customer knows who they're dealing with prior to them coming in, the second thing you should sell, and pay attention to this, don't get these out of order, is sell yourself. And the third thing you should sell, honestly, is sell yourself. It's different now than it was 20 years ago. Customers have researched the car online. They know the colors. They know the trim levels. We still need to help some customers with their final decision, but they've narrowed it down to a car or a few brands of cars they want to look at. Our job is to make sure that our brand becomes the premium brand in their selection, so they choose us. But you don't have to do as much about making them understand the product as you used to. So make them understand the person they're doing business with. You're the most important thing that's going on in the dealership. I can buy another car. I can call Toyota up. I can get more new inventory. I can go to the auction. I can buy more used car inventory. I can buy more parts and accessories. But to find a great salesperson like you in today's market is virtually impossible. Understand the value of yourself. Plan for the future. Never start a day without a plan. Never use that window looking at that empty lot to make your career, to pay for your way of life, and to take care of your family. This has been PK52, speaking from the heart today, believing in every one of you and your abilities. Take it to the next level. We're in the summer sales month. Time to make the money. Sell them all. KC Nix, the Saturday morning meeting.